Would I recommend everything I read in January with a yes, no, maybe? I personally loved My Dark Vanessa. Started off the year so well, but it is such a dark book. So I am going to say maybe, just because I feel like a personal preference. I feel like you have to be in a good place to be able to read this book and not like, I don't even know the word. This book follows 15-year-old Vanessa, who starts a relationship with her English teacher, and it kind of flips between the past and present. And the present day, he's been accused by another student. I don't think I'll ever read it again because it's like traumatized me, but it's written so well, and it's one of them books that really makes you think. Like, you will literally feel like you're being manipulated as well. The Florist was my first book I annotated. I actually ordered my tabs when I started My Dark Vanessa, because like on one of the first pages there was a quote and I was like, oh my god, but then I'd finished it by the time my tabs came, so maybe I will have to read it again to annotate it. But anyways, we're not even talking about that one now. Again, I think maybe this to me was like a nice little palette cleanse. Like, it was just a quick, fun, easy thriller. You know, you don't actually have to think about it. It wasn't a massive like reveal that had my jaw on the floor and I was like, wow, this is brilliant. But still, I was like, okay, like I see what you did there. So maybe. I read the War of Lost Hearts series. I only actually have the first book. I read the other two on my phone, so I need to order them like as soon as possible. This series was a 6-star series for me. All books were 5 stars. The second one was 6, and it's actually overtaken Throne of Glass for me. I might need to actually reread Throne of Glass before I like make her statement as large as that. It follows Tasana, who is a slave, and she buys her freedom, and then she travels across the sea to Ara, where she trains to join the Order, which is kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a government-ish thing of like, I don't know. She gets taken to Maxentarius, who's a very moody, miserable man. He's very high up in the Order, and she becomes his apprentice. There was like one particular scene I literally like, I was on the floor. I wasn't even on the floor. I was literally broken-hearted. It's so good. The next book is called Children of Fallen Gods, I believe. That was my 6-star read, I swear to God. Roman Empire. It follows the same characters, but there's an added POV. Usually when I'm loving a series and then they add an extra POV, I'm like, don't do that. But however, I was eating up this new POV. That book, oh, I can't even begin to explain to you like the emotions that I actually felt whilst reading that. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. The last book is Mother of Death and Dawn. Again, that was a 5-star read for me. It did take me like 10 days to read it just because I kind of fell off a little bit, but I still loved it. My most anticipated read of this year did not fucking disappoint, let me tell you. Just being back in this universe, it makes me realise why I love it so much. Like, this was my first romantasy book ever. Well, fourth one was, and it properly got me into the genre. It's so funny. Like, I'm sitting here laughing at dragons talking into my head. Well, not my head, but their heads, and it's fucking great. The novella I read was The Housemaid's Wedding. I'm actually gonna say no to this. I just feel like it didn't add anything. I want my £3.99 back.